Hi there, my name is Jennifer Boileau. I am a trauma-informed yoga and meditation teacher here in the state of Delaware, and I had a couple of classes scheduled for today that unfortunately we had to cancel. So I thought I would record the practice that I would have been teaching today and share it with all of you. So maybe you've experienced a class before, maybe you have not. This will give you a little bit of a window into what a class might look like, might feel like, and sound like. The type of meditation that I teach is called integrative restoration, or iRest for short. It was created by Dr. Richard Miller, heavily researched through Walter Reed Medical Center, in particular for veterans that were coming back from deployment and really struggling with post-traumatic stress issues. And instead of being given a cocktail of medication, they started to look into what would happen if we started to invite in some mindfulness practices and help to work with the brain and the body and the actual issue itself, other than trying to just suppress it. So disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not saying don't take medicine if it's prescribed to you. Absolutely, this is an augmentative treatment, something that you can do to support yourself from the inside out, because like I always tell people, you know, the pills can run out or the booze can run dry, whatever it is you're using to avoid feeling the feelings and feeling the experiences that might be reliving themselves through you. Integrative restoration is a way to help you get in touch with what you have within you already, so that you recognize that, you know, guess what? You have a lot within you that can help move you through whatever traumatic experiences are being revisited in the mind. So if we can get in touch with how to connect better with the mind, become more of the observer of the thoughts, wow, like what an amazing gift that is, truly. So this practice is a 10-step protocol. I will move through it today just like I'm teaching a typical class. If you are a first responder, if you are in the military, if you're a veteran, absolutely click to join the group. I'm going to take this piece by piece and break it down in the group. So I'll get a little bit more in depth with it, just to give you an idea of what this kind of practice can do for the brain. So, you know, our normal waking consciousness is this beta state. Okay, so when you were thinking about our brain waves, especially like at nighttime, say you don't sleep well at night, you're not getting that REM sleep, so you're not experiencing this theta state. You might wake up and still feel like you haven't slept. So you may have slept for 6 or 8 hours, or maybe you slept for 2 hours and you just can't feel that refreshed feeling from getting good, solid rest. If you learn through a practice like this to be able to dip into different brainwave states, you can help create and replicate that REM sleep state by participating in a meditation like this. So they say that if you are practicing maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes of an integrative restoration type meditation, it's the same as if you experience this deep sleep to the brain. So you're giving yourself this brain rest, and really that's what you're looking for. When you're feeling completely stressed out, you're not sleeping, the thoughts are looping, maybe traumatic things keep coming back to you, you're probably not getting into this REM state, that place where muscle spasms get released, where you find that true relaxation. So what I like to use in my practice are different singing bowls. They sound different. This one's a higher pitched one. You'll hear different sounds from each. And while that's not part of integrative restoration, there are a lot of phenomenal studies about how sound is also really helpful for triggering that relaxation response in the body. There is a physician in particular that wrote a book that is honestly one one of my favorites called The Healing Power of Sound by Dr. Mitchell Gaynor. He is a Harvard-trained oncologist who found using the singing bowls in his practice to be not only really beneficial for his patients, but decided that, there's got to be more to it than a nice sound. There's got to be something happening here that's just a little more important than nice music. And what he found was that the vibration of the quartz, which is what these bowls are made of, these are called Crystal Alchemy singing bowls, the quartz resonates with your body in a particular way. And because of that, it creates a sense of calm throughout the entire body. You might even find that as you listen, that you feel the different sounds in different areas of the body. And if this sounds completely out there to you, and if this is something that you've never heard before, just trust me. I'm a major research junkie, and everything that I share and everything that I practice personally is a research-based practice and something that is really steeped in science and meant to help you in the best way possible as a non-pharmaceutical option. So I'm going to just talk you through what a short class would be like. And as we go, just notice what it feels like for you. Know that the first time you experience something like this, you don't necessarily have, you might be in your head a little bit, is what I'm trying to say. You might not have this major transformative experience the first time, and that's okay. This is a practice, just like anything else. So maybe the first time you hear it, you're just sort of listening, taking it in, staying a little bit more in the thinking mind. Eventually, you'll find yourself getting more and more into the physical sensation in the body. And I will refer to sensation in the body, and if that seems foreign, or if you feel like you don't, on the regular, notice sensation in the body, try this for a minute. So just take your hands and rub them together, just creating some friction, creating a little heat. I had my heater on in this little room here, but I turned it off for the sake of the recording, and now I'm freezing, so rub your hands together. Now just stop. And notice the sensation across the top edge of your palms. Can you feel that kind of like, almost like a prickly type sensation? And if you try to isolate where you're feeling it, do you notice that the feeling sort of moves? So it's that kind of attention. Maybe it's just noticing that top edge of the skin, okay? And notice if the sensation is still lingering right now. So know that that is the type of attention that I'll be eventually working into. You can do this practice any way you want. You can be seated in a chair. You could be lying down. I mean, personally, if I was listening to this, I would want to lay down and get comfortable, so you could put in headphones if you want. You don't need to necessarily see me to do this because you're not doing anything physically in the body. It's all going to be in your mind's eye. And I know on the video it might look a little odd because while I'm looking down at these singing bowls, I know you can't see them. But just notice the different sounds. Some of them are meant to be very grounding and calming. Some of them are meant to draw your attention inwardly up to the crown of the head. Just notice maybe what the sounds feel like. Notice what gets your attention. So let yourself get comfortable wherever you are. And notice as you're getting settled, can you get yourself even 10% more comfortable than you already are? begin to notice the breath. We're not trying to control it, but just notice it. As you breathe in, do you feel like it's getting stuck up here? And if it is, maybe could you breathe a little deeper? See if you can shift the breath down into the belly. But more than anything, just kind of acknowledging how the breath feels. Nothing really needs to be changed at all. You might notice any sounds in the space around you, noticing the sounds of the singing bowls, maybe sounds within the body. Maybe your stomach is grumbling or something. Maybe the sounds of kids in the house if you have kids home from school. Maybe a lawnmower going outside. Whatever it might be, just notice how the sounds in the room work their way into your awareness. How you don't really have to think about it. How they just work their way in. You might notice any lingering taste in the mouth, maybe a scent in the air or the smell of maybe the detergent for your clothing. Notice the sensation of the body resting on the surface beneath you. So if you're lying down, noticing the points where the body is in contact with the surface beneath you. If you're seated, maybe noticing the weight of the body in your seat, the touch of your feet on the floor. Desire or our heartfelt mission. So how do you perceive life living through you? What is your reason why you do the things that you do? And your heartfelt mission might be something that is meant for your family, or it might be something that you want to see come through you out into the world around you or in your community. What does that look like to you? What gives your life value and a sense of purpose? And maybe you're just figuring that out. And if so, that's okay. Maybe let the intention or the thought of what needs to come through me, or maybe the request of what is my heartfelt mission meant to do? Who am I meant to serve? Can see that heartfelt mission alive in front of you, where do you feel it in the body? So maybe it's something you're doing right now. Where do you feel it in the body? When you see that heartfelt mission happening, when you see the people who you are so happy to be supporting or working with, when you see that happening, where do you feel it in the body? So let yourself have that moment. Even if it's something that you're not sure of yet, it's all right. In your mind's eye, imagine that it is happening right here, right now, in this moment. What does that feel like? And if you find that even perceiving that sensation in the body isn't coming up right now, can you envision it in your mind's eye? Maybe like where it would light up in the body. Where do you think it would? And for your practice today, can you place an intention on this practice and say, what is the one thing I could do today to help bring me a step closer to this heartfelt mission come alive? Or what will make this heartfelt mission come alive? Kind of like step one, right? So what would that intention be? Noticing the breath. Maybe noticing the sensation as it passes through the nostrils and then back out through the nostrils. Inviting in that intention. And if nothing comes to mind, that's okay. Maybe the intention is a question. Maybe it's, what do I need right now? What do I need the most right now? You don't have to have the answer. Sometimes the stillness of a practice like this, helps it bubble up from that deepest place within you that maybe you haven't even given life to it yet. Maybe you haven't put words to it yet. If all you're seeing in the video, because I can't see the video, is this mallet. This is what I use to create the sound with the singing bowls. It's a suede wrapped mallet. So if your eyes are open, you know what you're seeing. If your eyes are closed, you can allow them to be closed and rested. Begin to let the thinking mind fall back and let the feeling body come online. So when the thinking mind falls back, you stop analyzing the experience. I know it's a tough thing to do, so don't beat yourself up if you find that it's really difficult to shut off that part of the mind right now. It's all right. Just know that that's the intention, to allow that thinking mind to take a seat and just let your body feel what it needs to feel. And don't be surprised if you experience something that's really emotional, especially during this time when we are all at a heightened state of anxiety, a heightened state of worry and a lot of uncertainty. Just let yourself move through whatever it might be. Avoiding those feelings just helps store them deeper in the body to come back later, maybe a little bit stronger, right? So if we feel them now and move through it now and breathe through it now, it helps to take away the power of those traumatic type somatic feelings in the body. So we're going to talk about something called our inner resource here. Now your inner resource is this place within you that is completely untouched by outside circumstances. So in the midst of what's going on right now, can you find within yourself this place where nothing gets inside? There's this happy little spot where just nothing can shake you. And a way to access this inner resource is to use a memory. And if a memory isn't available, you can even envision something that you've created in your mind's eye. So, for example, can you think of a place or a person that you've been in their presence, or you've been in this location, and you feel the deepest sense of ease? And by that I mean, what's the most comfortable, relaxed place that you love to go to? It could have been when you were a little kid. It could be someplace you were yesterday. It could be the place you're in right now. Can you think of a time or a place where you felt the most at ease, comforted, calm, secure. And have that in your mind's eye. It could also be in the presence of a person. So can you envision this person who, when you're with this person, you feel absolutely calm, protected, loved? It could be a pet. Just think about what that might be for you. Letting that memory act as an anchor to take you back to that feeling. So if you're envisioning a place right now, look around as you're imagining yourself there right now. What are the colors that you see? What are the textures that you could touch? Is there a smell associated with this place? Favorite food you eat when you're in this place? Can you even recall the taste of it? What sounds do you hear? Notice how we're involving all of the senses to really connect back with this memory. Now, if you're thinking, I don't have a memory that gives me a sense of ease, a lot of my memories are trauma type memories. I can't remember the last time I felt calm, at ease, or safe. Don't be upset about that. Don't beat yourself up about that. Allow yourself to envision in your mind's eye a place where you would love to go. Imagine what it would look like. It can be completely created in your mind's eye. Imagine what it would look like, feel like, sound like. Now, imagine that now, in this place or with this person, this feeling of ease, where do you feel calm or ease in the body? And if you hadn't thought about that before, that's okay. Stay with that feeling of calm and relaxation. Again, if it's something that's a foreign feeling to you, where do you think you would feel it in the body? And maybe spend some time with that. Do you feel it on the top edge of your skin, or do you feel it like deeper in the body? Maybe on the place where the body is resting on the floor right now. Just know that there's no right or wrong answers here, and that the inner resource is not the memory, but we use the memory to be an anchor back to that place where you can find calm within yourself, so that you could be deployed in the middle of a war zone and be, back at your base or wherever you might be stationed, and be sitting down trying to eat your lunch, your dinner, who knows what, and you need to invite in that sense of ease or calm. You might be in a really stressful relationship, a really stressful job, whatever it might be. Can you be in the midst of that job and take a moment for yourself and connect back with this inner resource? So the better you get at connecting with the felt sense of ease and calm in the body, the more you practice going back to that, the easier it will be to invite that somatic felt sense of ease into the body when you need it. So for instance, you could be in a really stressful meeting and be paying full attention, but if you start to notice that your breath is getting stuck up here, high in the chest, if you notice that you're starting to feel this like tension or tightening in the chest, could you just start for a minute to notice that sense of calm that you can invite back in because you have practiced in times of ease, in times of not having an active stress situation, so that you can invite back in that sensation of calm within you. So for instance, if I perceive this inner resource as this like warmth or calmness throughout my chest, but when I'm in a stressful situation, I feel this tightening in my chest, and it's getting tight, and it's getting tight up toward my throat, and I start to get my breath caught up here. If I can connect with that inner resource, use the memory if I need to, and connect back into that felt sense of ease and calm, suddenly this tightness that was here begins to dissipate. And if I can connect back in with that different feeling and choose to engage with that different feeling, notice how now every single cell in my body is getting the message, and my nervous system starts to shift from this really strong sympathetic fight-flight response to this parasympathetic side that says rest and digest. So suddenly your saliva production will start to increase a little bit more. Because of that, it helps your digestion. All of a sudden, all of your organs are getting messages from the vagus nerve, something that's a cranial nerve. It's our largest, most complex cranial nerve that extends all the way down through our spinal column, and it reaches out and it really just kind of envelops and wraps around and through the organs in the body. And when we trigger that relaxation response, it sends messages to every single organ to just relax, let go, as opposed to that different response, that sympathetic response of tensing up and secreting those different stress hormones. So you might think of your inner resource as something I describe in class a lot, that you are the sky and everything else is just the weather. So you start to realize that you are this unchanging awareness, and all of these different stressors that are coming into your life, they're coming through like crappy weather, right? So you're the sky. Here comes a really difficult situation. Okay, it's going to be like a storm cloud or something, right? So the storm cloud rolls through, there's this horrible rain, the wind whips up, everything's a hot mess, and it just moves on through. You're still here. You're still the same person experiencing these different thoughts, feelings, emotions. The weather will move through, but you remain unchanged. This place within you for your inner resource is that place that remains unchanged. So regardless of how unnerving or how anxiety producing everything is around you, you know that within you, you have this inner resource that you can connect back to at any time and invite back in that felt sense of ease, okay? So through the entire body, how you can begin with your thoughts, your concentration, and your attention, you begin to change the way the cells in your body are actually responding to a stress situation. It's not making you soft. It's not, it's not just having you check out. Not at all. It's you shifting the way your body is reacting to stress. And if you can shift that on your own, you don't need a medication. You didn't need the gym. You didn't need to go somewhere to access this. You have it with you all the time. That's pretty powerful. If you really recognize that you have this within you, always at your disposal. Is it easy to connect to all the time? Sometimes it's going to be harder. That's why we practice this type of meditation, so that on the regular, maybe if it's just 15 or 20 minutes a day, you're connecting back with that inner resource within identify that heartfelt mission, what is living through you out into the world. You live from a space of intention where each day you're building and working toward that heartfelt mission come alive. And you're developing within you this inner resource, this space of calm and ease, so that when everything is hitting the fan, like what's kind of happening right now, that within you, you can maintain a level of calm and relaxation. So, integrative restoration is a 10-step protocol. We've gone through the first several steps. I think we're going to pause here and pick up next time with body sensing. But I hope that that gives you a little window into what this practice really focuses on. And I'll record a full practice at another time. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. As you are coming back into awareness, if you're still lying down or if you're seated, you might begin to connect back in with that felt sense in the body, noticing where the body is pressed into the floor, that surface supporting you might be a chair, noticing the natural weight of the body, revisiting in your mind's eye that heartfelt mission, imagining how life is living itself through you, thinking about your intention, what you really need right now. And then thinking about that inner resource. What memory can you use as an anchor that's going to bring you back to that felt sense of calm? And it might be something that you need to think about. So let that be what stays with you for the rest of your day. Maybe just placing that seed within you, asking, what do I want this to look like? What do I want my purpose to be? And how can I connect with these feelings of calm to bring into my body when I'm experiencing a stressful situation? So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will be recording soon.